Hello everyone, this is Foxy Papa Smurf, or FPS Gamer for short, and I'm coming at you again today with a map showcase of a map that I call Granite Spire. And for some of you veteran Halo 2 fans out there, you may notice a few similarities between this and the classic Halo 2 Slayer map, Ivory Tower. When I was designing this map from the get-go, I really wanted to bring in that Ivory Tower feel. There's just something about it. I mean, it's Ivory Tower. I mean, who doesn't like Ivory Tower? It was just like a non-traditional Halo 2 multiplayer map that ended up being a lot of fun. I mean, it just something about it just clicked with a lot of gamers, and I think we all enjoyed it. I'm going to note right from the beginning, this is more a map that was heavily influenced by Ivory Tower. By no means is this a one-to-one remake, and one of the cornerstone items you really notice when you think of Ivory Tower are these palm trees, so I really try to do a good job of adding those in without overdoing the vegetation, because it can hurt your frame rate adding too much vegetation to a map. And Ivory Tower was unique because it had a big open space, tall ceilings, yet most of your combat was, close quarters. Even though you were in tight spaces, you felt like you were in a very large space, so I tried to really incorporate that. Not to mention it was a map with a lot of verticality, and verticality can be a difficult thing to add to a map just because of the mechanics in Halo. You'll notice this platform here does bear a little bit of resemblance to a very similar platform on Ivory Tower. Again, I'll reiterate, it's not a one-to-one remake. However, it was heavily influenced by Ivory Tower. And for those of you that have seen any of my previous maps, you'll know that I'm a big fan of these stunt jumps and skill jumps, things like that. You make the map a little more fun. You can discover these little trick jumps that can get you, easily from one area to the next. Especially down here in this little courtyard, you're kind of out in the open, but there are these little jumps on either side that can get you up onto those platforms if you can get the timing right. We'll go up to this top layer here. This layer is somewhat similar to that sniper tower as far as power positioning goes. This will be a platform that a lot of players will flock to and try to hold. And when I was originally designing this, I had these barriers sticking up. However, just through a little bit of playtesting, I noticed I just really like the way they look facing down. Not to mention, you really couldn't see anything with those barriers sticking up as opposed to sticking down like they are now. So I let them down. I was afraid it might get a little too overpowered, and that was the case, unfortunately. So what I had to do, which actually ended up being pretty cool, was I compensated that by adding a second way to get up to this layer. You'll remember in Ivory Tower there's multiple ways to get from the lower level to the top level, whether it be a mechanical lift, a walkway, or even these gravity lifts that'll lift you up. You could jump levels very quickly in that map, and that was a characteristic that was very unique, and I tried to bring that into this one. And again, this is more of that trying to give that open space feel while still keeping the combat close quarters. Ivory Tower had these big open windows that you could see other buildings out of, and so I really tried to bring that in here too. Again, a little difficult to do without harming the frame rate, but now we'll go and head on over to the other building. We'll cross this walkway, and both of these walkways you can actually go on top of and actually have little firefight battles back and forth. On the classic Halo 2 map, you'll remember there were a lot of these glass ceilings. Again, it added to this big open feel that the map had, and so I tried to incorporate that into my map as well. Likewise, there were these glass windows that you could see through. Instead of just putting like a flat wall here, I thought it would be more fun to put in a glass panel so you can see to the other side. And you can actually be on the other side of that. It's a mirror image of the side I'm currently on. And going down to this lower level, it's the safer route, I guess you could say, to get from one side to the other. If you've seen any of my other maps, you'll know that I'm a really big fan of adding in cover. And you'll see here is a teleporter. I'm actually not a big fan of adding teleporters to maps. However, with these two long walkways, that wasn't really enough opportunity to get from one side to the next. So I wanted to offer, a risky way, but then also a pretty safe and quick way to get from one side to the next. But you'll see that it drops you off here on this middle ground area between the palm tree lower level and then the upper level. But we'll come back and we'll stay on this side for right now because there's a few other things I wanted to show you here. Again, over here on this side, it's just a mirror image of what's over there. And right here you walk under this gate, which is actually a garage door. It's normally used vertically, but I have it here horizontally, and you can actually go up there. That is an actual playable space, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Again, harkening back to the old map, it had these rounding corners where you can kind of see the encounter you're about to have before you actually get to it. And again, some of this mechanized variability took shape in the old map in the form of a mechanical lift, which brought you up to the top tower. Here, it takes form in a I guess a walkway that'll appear and disappear, and you can shoot through it and throw grenades through it. That's all. You can do that as well. More of these long walkways, some things that were characteristic about the map as well. There is a sniper rifle. That is one of the 2 power weapons. The other is a shotgun, which actually, in my opinion, the shotgun's actually the better power weapon to have here, unless you're pretty good at no-scoping with the sniper rifle, because it's a lot of close-quarter combat unless you manage to get yourself on one of these bridges. I really tried to keep that feel of the Ivory Tower feel, a mix of open space with close quarter combat as much as possible, by having these longer walkways, but then again the areas outside of the walkways are a little more tight corridors. Here's that shotgun. Like I said, again, this is actually probably the weapon you're going to want to go for if you're playing on this map. And I'm actually making this map as part of a competition that's going on ForgeHub. I'll leave a link to that contest in the description with a little more details about it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a lot of fun making this map, and actually going back to Ivory Tower, I think if you download this map, or if you get a chance to play it, that you'll definitely get that feel if you've played on the original Ivory Tower. So go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with any other Halo 2 fans that are out there. And I'll see you guys next time.